Source C. Title: Pros and Cons to Congressional Term Limits. The author: the League of Women's Voters of the Hamptons. The date is unknown. The pros or the positives of having congressional term limits. Since the 1960s, state legislatures have seen pay increased and given full-time staff, encouraging people to see elected positions as a desirable full-time career. Term limits encourage younger minority and other aspirants to run for office. The power of lobbyists will be weakened because they cannot form long-term relationships with legislatures. Term-limited legislatures will move quickly and will try to form coalitions with other new members to get legislation passed. They will likely be more technology savvy than long-term members who rely on their staff to do tech work. More seats may be filled by minorities as long-serving members are forced to retire in districts that have seen demographic changes. Greater voter turnout may occur in state elections if people feel there is a real race going on and their votes count. The cons are negative of having congressional term limits. Reduces the list of qualified and available candidates. We already have term limits. They are called elections. Removes experienced, knowledgeable, and influential office holders, thereby increasing the influence of longtime lobbyists and civil service bureaucracies. Short-term solution to long-term problems. Available statistics do not bear out the assumption that women and minorities will have an increased chance to participate under term limits. Voter participation has not increased by term limits. The balance of power between the legislative and executive branches of government will shift in favor of the greater knowledge and experience of the executive branch. Term limits feel like an easy fix to a more difficult problem. Vocabulary: aspirants, a person who wants to achieve something. Lobbyists, a person who works specifically to change the minds of the people who make the laws. Coalitions, when groups work together to make change. Savvy, the ability to make good judgments and choices. Demographic, a section of the population. Example, to be wealthy, poor, young, or old. Bureaucracy, decisions made by state officials and not elected representatives. Executive, one of the three branches of government led by the President of the United States.